iplongno going to throw a Suffocate at the Deathwing there, with another Suffocate in hand and a Roland in hand.
So the Overmaster is definitely not out of this. They might try, uh, attacking in here. Uh, they could equalize now if they have one.
Let me see if I can pull up what Overmaster has in hand.
Or just hammer to finish it off. That's also fine.
Overmaster has a ton in hand. They've got 2 Equalizes, they've got a Roland, they've got another Hammer, a Backbreaker, Deathwing, and 2 Suffocates. So Overmaster's hand is stacked at the moment.
Oh yeah, I guess equalize probably isn't that good when they have that many cards in hand. I wasn't sure exactly how many because of that. There was that bug earlier.
Yep. No, it's a fair point. I also see, all right, this may be an ignorant comment, but I also see on Overmaster's side, his equalizes are all blocked out, are all locked out. Was there an effect here that's locking out equalize for him?
Oh, Builder's Decree.
Builder's Decree. Okay. Choose a non-power card. They can't play cards that name for 2 turns, equalize 1 turns remaining. So Overmaster does have 3 equalizes in hand that have been blocked out by Builder's Decree. Just so that's not clear on the board. So for you, chat, that's what's going on here.
Builder's Decree is uh it's kind of a different disruption option, but it's seemed to be pretty powerful so far. You generally want to amplify it at least once, but when you do, you get a big threat, and you get to lock your opponent out of a uh, you know, out of an impactful card. Normally a removal spell because you don't want them dealing with that Sentinel.
Mm-hmm.
But it affects the board and the hand. Uh, oh, it uh, overall pretty good card.
All right, here comes that deadly lifesteal hammer of authority here.
I wonder. I wonder if Theo remembered the deadly.
Hmm.
It seems a little odd leaving that Svetya up.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to use that suffocate to take care of the remaining Valkyrie. But the site's going to trigger and give that 6/6 for iplongno here. Svetya's going to finish off the hammer. And iplongno is going to follow up with a Roa here to gain 5 health. Not incredibly relevant in these matchups, but not bad. Still useful to have.
Yeah, it's still a 6/6 overwhelm. That's
Yeah.
good at threatening sites.
Yep. It's interesting. If I can make this comment, we've seen a couple games in earlier rounds where we've had those Roas, someone play a Roa and gain, 15, 20 health off of it. But then the following turn, due to an equalize or some removal spell, they just took that 15 back again. So obviously great against aggressive decks and, still a 6/6 or a 5/5 overwhelm. But I would caution that gaining that health temporarily does not actually necessarily put you ahead in these mid-range matchups, which seem to be more about snowballing advantage and card advantage and board advantage more than necessarily your life total.
Yeah, that's definitely right. Uh, it, there's really no direct damage from these decks, so winning at 1 versus winning at 10, it doesn't make any difference.
All right, going to draw a Mave off the top, 5/6 Mave Walker of Aeons here. I'm going to go ahead and deploy that this time.
So when I had said this was lower to the ground, I kind of forgot what Mayev can do in the late game. Uh, you know, if it lives, it's drawing you cards. It's guaranteed to make your future draws better. So, kind of like broker, it's a long-term investment. You're uh, making the quality of your deck better, which isn't impacting the board, isn't impacting the hand, isn't impacting the life totals. But it's saying if this game goes long, I'm more likely to win.
Mm-hmm.
There's also not a ton of removal in the Overmaster's deck.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they're playing Vanquish in the market, but in the main deck, other than a backbreaker, they can't really answer Mayev.
Yeah. Send an agent off the top for iplongno, along with the power. So they have 2 Send an Agents. They have a Desert Alchemist. Also, sweet alt art Desert Alchemist there, as well as Rollant and Suffocate here.
Wow, that's big.
Oh, nice Send an Agent there. See, I don't think Overmaster can do anything about that. Overmaster's got 2 Equalize, a Suffocate, and a Rollant in hand. You might say
Send
that
an
that
agent
Send an Agent was backbreaking there.
Yeah, send an agent is a big reason to be 3 faction. I'm starting to see why iplongno is winning these mirrors when I doubted them earlier. Like, you get better removal, and your removal can answer more things. Uh, killing a single faction unit, not the most important in this matchup. Killing a backbreaker is huge. You're trading 2 power for 6 at fast speed, uh, and often just screwing up their whole turn.
All right,
So it's
Equalize here.
tempting to ditch that suffocate, but it's an answer to Rollant. Yeah, they're getting rid of
Yeah,
other cards,
they did. Pitch them
sa-
and then got that
saying
10-10
I have
Rhoda
a
in hand.
yeah, that deals with a backbreaker as well.
Mm-hmm. And then a 3/4 Deathwing off the top for iplongno. So Overmaster's got Equalize, Rollant, and Suffocate here. Do you fire off another Equalize just to get rid of the 10-10? Looks like you do. Yep.
Get a card out of their hand, so uh, yeah, that thing's killing you in 2 hits. We've seen Theo wait a bit to play that equalize, but not even he's gonna wait there.
Mm-hmm. All right, Silex off the top. Control Trev, and they're going to fire off this big Know Thy Enemy. Lots of choices here. There's a 10-10 Norris Roa and a 4/4 Merchant. Let's see what iplongno grabs from the market. They've got From Anguish, Equalize, Tayana the Mender, another Roa, and a Reality Warden. They're going to grab the Reality Warden here.
That's kind of interesting because uh, I don't know. I guess none of the options are amazing, but it doesn't seem like a 7/7 is gonna do much that a 10/10 didn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
Is the is
okay,
the
help it.
is the Void Clause relevant at all for this matchup?
Let me check.
Doesn't
I don't
seem
think it
like it.
is. Because I think this game is ending if the 10/10 stays in play,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think much answers the 10/10 without also uh answering the 7/7, or even if it's not answered, you can block with a lot of things.
Yeah, I'll have to check. I
Uh,
don't think the Suffocate answers a 10-10 Overwhelm, but I'll double check here. Turns out no, Suffocate does not answer a 10-10. All right, Builder's Decree. iplongno is just going to fire that off right away here. Not even have to think about that one. Let's get 2 more 10-10s off the board.
who needs a moment of creation? Uh, you know,
And that's going to put Overmaster pretty hard on the back foot here. I'm not sure. They don't have an equalize here. They just have that suffocate in hand. They can exploit. They can't even plunder. They don't have any power, so they can't even plunder anything away for that. And that should be it. Yep, iplongno is going to take that 2-0 over the Overmaster. So congratulations on iplongno on the second 4-0 finish. So that is iplongno's second. They swept the Swiss in challenge number 1, and they swept the Swiss here in challenge number 3.